Hey there, we're at MilAM TV live from Tampa, Florida with Jake Jones of Penn United Technology. Jake and I have known each other for a few years now, and I've always enjoyed leaning into the things you're learning at Penn United. As a fabulous America Makes member, I was intrigued by your journey because the company started out in the nuclear area, and you have expanded that, and you leaned in hard to additive manufacturing as a technology set, and you guys have mastered a lot of the applications. And I'm wondering, in this moment right now where we've seen a resurgence of an interest in small modular nuclear power to fund those data centers for all of our AI habit, and many other military applications and other manufacturing applications. I'm curious where the company is right now, where you guys are with your technology set and what you're working on.
Yeah, so we focus mostly on laser powder bed fusion when it comes to additive. Penn United, that is only, it's probably less than 10% of Penn United's business as a whole. But yeah, laser powder beds are focused in additive right now. We're certainly willing to expand that in the future, and we constantly keep our eye on other technologies, of course. But yeah, we started out in nuclear, like you said, and we definitely see opportunities with small modular reactors, making parts more efficient, lightweighting components, things that need to be doing that heat exchanging performance in a smaller form factor is certainly something we see us targeting in the future. And we have a lot to offer in that space with our experience in nuclear safety related products.
You know, I remember we talked with you and Charlie some time ago in your shop, and Charlie reflected on the fact that Penn United was part of a bigger company that has a larger footprint, but that, as you mentioned, the 10% of the company is normal in a lot of bigger companies that have additive as part of their operations. And so I'm curious, from your vantage point, how have you seen additive grow in the very short term, and then where do you see it going?
Yeah, so to touch on that, our additive group sits inside of our tooling division. So Penn United as a whole, we're an employee-owned company. So our employees really see the value in taking in new technologies, and they take it personally, and they're motivated by the expansion into these new technologies like we're looking at. But yeah, where we see it going is Penn United is going to be heavily focused on providing solutions for customers, especially in the DoD space, where we've had a lot of experience in the material characterization, working with folks in the Navy and Air Force, and guys that are trying to kind of just take a look at the new materials, this novel technology, and say this is what this technology is capable of, and creating those standards and making sure.
You focused. I think you said a lot of really cool things right there. You said that you focused on laser powder bed fusion because all the additive technologies, that's one of the hardest ones to master, and y'all are working. I mean, you're still continuing to develop applications and processes. But when we talked a few years ago, there was this, I'll say maybe you'd plateaued in the growth of the business in the additive space. And that was a concern.
Yes.
And what a difference a few years makes.
It is.
And you found a way through that. So could you talk about how you're positioned now, and what are some of the things you've done from a business development perspective inside the company to change that reality?
Yeah, it's the access to our very wide customer base is what's kind of kept us moving in the positive direction for a long time. So yeah, we did plateau. Some of the nuclear work that we were doing kind of stagnated a little bit, but we're now up to 9 total laser powder bed machines, with our third M400 in partnership under an operational agreement being installed the last couple of weeks. So we've continued to grow by looking at those types of opportunities where folks may not have the manufacturing space internally, but are looking to the experts like Penn United that has the traditional subtractive manufacturing side, the capacities of being able to remove with support material, machine parts, grind parts to spec, and house their machine under an operational agreement with us.
I love that. I love that. And another question for you is, we're pushing this technology in different ways. We're also seeing new business models emerging and new relationships. The one you had is essentially you put their machine on your floor and your people manage it.
Yes.
But the asset is at least owned or rented or leased or whatever from the client.
Yep.
But that's a great example of what other additive forward companies could do if they wanted to grow their business and diversify. You said something else earlier. You didn't use the D word, the diversify word, but I heard that that's kind of what you're doing when you said across the supply base.
Yes.
What kinds of customers are you seeing beyond, nuclear, beyond energy that you're serving?
Yeah, so Penn United serves a lot of customers in the connector automotive industry, medical devices, oil and gas. So in additive, we're seeing a lot of oil and gas space, a lot of work to the AWS standards of the world and API standards. And medical devices are also big. We have one of our first medical 3D printed additive laser powder bed printed parts going into a actual medical device that is flesh contacting, and being able to partner with our current customers, because that's a legacy customer of ours.
You helped them innovate through your capability.
Exactly.
What a great story.
Yep.
So as we find ourselves in this moment, you've just given every company a blueprint to continue to exist. But it means you're going to have to dual use. You're going to have to learn medical devices. You're going to have to learn oil and gas. You're going to have to learn, different things in automotive that you can serve. I mean, you really, I know that sounds just like duh, Kimberly, but no, that's hard. That's difficult.
Yes.
To get that diverse supply base.
Yes.
But that's the key. And I think the DoD is also, the Department of War, I have to get used to saying that, the Department of War is also interested in doing that. I mean, the reason is the Department of War can only be so much percentage of your industrial base, and the demand signal is only so strong. But when we combine it with energy and oil and gas and medical and automotive, we have a real business case for adopting and accelerating this technology.
Exactly, yes. And to have the quality system that we have in place at Penn United to be able to serve that many markets that are highly critical, nuclear safety related parts, aerospace components, it has to be an extremely robust quality system. And it has to be something that overarches our stamping capabilities, machining capabilities, additive, tungsten, silicon carbide. Everything falls under one roof. And that has to be an extremely robust system to be able to handle all of those types of specs and standards.
Well, I certainly am so glad you've shared that journey with us at America Makes over the years.
Yes, yeah.
And that we've got to see you grow, and you are really plotting a course for other businesses, because you were a traditional manufacturing.
Absolutely.
And now you've innovated. But one of the challenges is you guys have reached a point where, okay, we know laser powder bed fusion. Mm-hmm. In order for you to innovate into the next additive process with the expertise you have and the diverse customer base, you need a demand signal.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, we want to kind of mirror how we got into laser powder bed for that next technology. So Penn United is looking at DED, wire arc, wire laser, any of these new novel technologies that are going to take manufacturing to that next level. We want to kind of mimic the operational agreement side of things. So we want to deliver that full solution, not just as one-off parts here and there. We want to be the house that kind of creates that solution end to end to get you high volume, highly precise parts under a good quality system.
Jake, there's so many things we could talk about, but I'm continuing to watch your journey and keep in touch with you, because we're all learning how to do it right and how to stay in business while you do it.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us today, and I can't wait till to see where you land in another year if you're able to add that new capability. But I hope there's something we can do at the Institute to keep supporting you in on the path. So
yes.
thanks a lot for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate America Makes a lot and the opportunities that it presents to us, and it really creates a great environment for companies to share information and bring new opportunities to light.
This community is diverse, and we want to continue to stay connected. So awesome. Thanks for coming on. And I know it's time to get back to your booth. People are probably clamoring. So
we're busy booth. Yes. Thank you very much, Kimberly.
See you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.